Hello again everyone, James here. By now, I'm gonna assume that you've heard Driver's License, the smash hit single from Olivia Rodrigo, and if you haven't, go ahead and hit pause, find it in another tab, open it up on Spotify, and give it a spin because this song is taking the world by storm. It just set a one-day stream record on Spotify, amassing more than 17 million plays in 24 hours, and that is the tip of the iceberg as far as accomplishments and records go for this track. It is taking off like no song in recent memory, and it's really surprising for a number of reasons. The least of which being that Olivia Rodrigo is just 17 years old, and this is one of her first songs she's ever released. I mean, she's basically a newcomer to most people, but in this video, we're going to get into why this song has been such a big hit and what we can learn from its success, because trust me, after this song, the industry is going to change, at least for a minute. Now, one of the great things about Rodrigo is that she's been working on her own music for some time. I mean, she's best known as a member of High School Musical, the series, which is on Disney Plus right now. And she's not only a star in the show, she's also helped write some of the songs that have been performed in the series. She got a deal with Geffen Records in part because of how impressed the A&R was with her songwriting abilities, and those are really on display here. I mean, the song does have a co-writer, but there is no denying that this song is coming from a teenage girl who's dealing with a lot of heartbreak, and rather than sit here and break down all the drama surrounding the release of this song, I thought I'd let the platform that made this song a hit, TikTok, do the job for me. Check this out.
She's heartbroken over a boy. Who is that boy? Her co-star on High School Musical, the series. He was 18, she was 15. He had a crush on her, but he couldn't date her because she's 15 years old. He writes a song about how he doesn't want to be with anyone else. He starts dating a girl named Sabrina Carpenter. She's blonde.
What color is Olivia's hair?
Brunette. And she has to drive past his house and see him in the suburbs because she is in love with him, but he's in love with someone else. He taught her how to drive!
How does the song go?
Alexa, play Driver's License. This is gonna make me cry.
What you just saw was a 26-year-old woman explaining to her other adult friends why Driver's License is the smash hit that it is. And to be honest, who can't relate to this story? It's the story of young love gone wrong and living through your first heartbreak and learning how to deal with all these things while also growing up in an increasingly complicated world and being connected to the internet all the time and having all these wants and needs and desires that you don't really know what to do with just yet. I mean, it is the classic story of teenagers, not just here in the United States, but all over the world. And the fact that Rodrigo herself is a teenager makes her a very, very easy person to sell to the world of Gen Z, who more than ever is controlling what's happening in the pop charts. I mean, if you look at all the songs that have been charting on Billboard over the last 12 months, the vast majority found their first success on TikTok. And who's on TikTok? Gen Z. That is where they are finding these songs. That is where they're catapulting them into the stratosphere. That is where we're getting 24K Golden, Lil Nas X, so many other artists. And Olivia Rodrigo is just proof that that's going to continue happening for the foreseeable future. But speaking to the song itself, and this is what I think is really important, Olivia Rodrigo, regardless of what she's writing a song about, is telling a story with her music. And if you look at how people have been criticizing pop music over the last couple of years, it's always about how the songs are getting more and more shallow. It's always like one idea with a couple of verses and a lot of the hook, just an emphasis on one or two really catchy lines. But that's not the case here. Rodrigo is mixing elements of Taylor Swift and Lorde together to give us a full-length story, beginning, middle, and end, that all culminates in this amazingly cathartic bridge where all of the frustration and emotion and longing and anger that has been building up comes to a head, and you as a listener feel it. You feel it deep within your soul because of how she's expressing it, how she's detailing it throughout the song. And that really points to a bright future for the world of songs because it says that there's still room for telling stories in music. And yes, we cannot downplay the fact that this is a 17-year-old girl who is the star of a very popular streaming series and is also already firmly planted in the worlds of social media. But she still has given us an actual story in a song, something that people of all ages can sink their teeth into, and because of how the story is being told, relate to. And that's what's making it a success. You see, in a lot of ways, Driver's License is the perfect storm of a pop song. You have a teen starlet who's already in the world of social media and all the drama that comes with it. You have a truly gifted songwriter telling a story that is very relatable. And you have an audience that is just starving for new songs because so many of the biggest names in music have taken time off due to the pandemic. And those three factors all coming together right now with Olivia Rodrigo's latest single is making a hit unlike anything that we expected to see, at least until after the COVID pandemic ended. I mean, everything that could go right for this song is going right, and it really points to a promising future for the industry, because if a song like this that tells a story can become the biggest song in the world, then any songwriter out there that feels something deep within their soul that they're trying to express through their music, that maybe doesn't have the greatest, catchiest hook in the world, or the song doesn't immediately start with the hook and it isn't the immediate catchiness that some of the biggest songs in radio lately have, there's still a chance you can get ahead, because Driver's License doesn't have any of those things. I mean, the hook is good, but it doesn't come into the song right away. The track isn't necessarily fast. It takes its time building the world that it wants you to live within, and yet people love it. So what I'm saying is, if you can find a way to tell the story that you want to tell in a way that is undeniably relatable and feels cathartic, even to people who are listening to it in other parts of the world, then you can tap into the same kind of success that Driver's License is experiencing. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to get 17 million streams in 24 hours or in the lifespan of that song, but you can create music that really connects with people in a deep way. And when you do that, you forge a sense of community, a sense of connection that will make them fans for life, that will make them want to follow you wherever you go and stay engaged with your music. Now, the jury is still out on what's going to happen with Driver's License moving forward, but right now, the runway is pretty open. I mean, if Billie Eilish comes out of nowhere and drops another single, or Ariana Grande puts out a video for that 3435 remix that she just dropped, then we could obviously see Driver's License bump down the charts a little bit. But otherwise, Olivia Rodrigo is poised to have the biggest song of January, February, and so on until another contender comes along. And that's all because she wrote from the heart, delivered something that was undeniably relatable and frankly incredibly catchy, and just kept pushing. Now, of course, you don't have the label connections, you don't have the ability to tap into Gen Z like an actual teenager can if you're outside of that age group, but you can still write songs that have all of those elements and find its audience. I believe in you, and if you need help getting there, I'll be here every single week giving you tips and tricks for navigating the industry, breaking down the latest headlines, seeing what we can learn from the biggest stars, and so much more. So if you haven't done so already, please click the subscribe button down below. It would make me so happy if you did. You can join our little community. We're learning, we're sharing, we're growing together. And if you have done that, well then thank you for watching. It's a pleasure to interact with you every single day. And until I see you next time, please take care of yourselves, because you deserve it.